guys, it's that time again. Time for Slice. I'm Roxy, and you're watching this show where we give food enthusiasts and chefs $12 to make a meal for two, but they must do it in 20 minutes or less. If they complete the task and our judge loves the dish, they get this wonderful dessert to eat. But if they don't cook the meal in 20 minutes or less, or if the judge doesn't like it, they're going to get that pie in their face. Are you excited about that?
No.
Joining me today is Chef Ricky Camacho from Añejo. What will you be making today?
Today I'll be making a pipián verde with some seared shrimp and zoodles.
And for those who don't know what that is exactly, can you give a brief description?
Sure. Pipián verde is a, does this count against my 20 minutes?
No, we haven't started the
Okay,
timer
great.
yet. You'll see it when it starts.
Pipián verde is it's a mole of sorts, but nuts are used to thicken the sauce. Sort of pre-colonial, before the Europeans came in and introduced some other things like sesame seed. Here we'll be using pumpkin seed to give us a nice bright green color, along with jalapeno, cilantro. And
so kind of a twist on a typical Mexican dish.
Yep.
Sounds delicious. And again, we gave Chef Ricky $12. He will have 20 minutes to make this meal for two. Can you go over the ingredients, what you bought and how much it costs?
Sure. So here's what I got. Pumpkin seeds, 50 cents. I have white onions at 99 cents. Jalapeno, 50 cents. Shrimp, $7.99. Zucchini at 89 cents. And asparagus at $1.10 for a grand total of $11.97.
And you will be judged on taste, creativity, and presentation.
All
and
right.
Again, you have 20 minutes to make this meal for two. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get that timer up there.
Okay.
So ready? Here you go.
I'm just going to lightly season shrimp here. This is peeled and deveined shrimp, which is what you kind of want to look for just for easy eating. If you're the adventurous eater, feel free to keep your peel on, even head if you'd like. Little black pepper. I have a super hot pan here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil just to sear this guy up. I got a good sear here. Since I have 20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and dump it in there, arrange it in the pan after the fact.
We have people watching from all over the place. Tracy
Sweet.
from Scotland, Joyce and JC from Tennessee, Linda from Ontario.
That's fantastic.
Where are you from originally?
I am from Puerto Rico. Well, I should say my parents are. I'm from the Bronx in New York City. But my parents are of Puerto Rican descent. And for the last 5 years, I've been doing Mexican cooking intensely.
And Añejo, where in New York City is that?
I'm sorry?
Where in New York City is Añejo?
We have two locations, one in Tribeca on the corner of Church and Walker, and one in Hell's Kitchen on the corner of 47th and 10th.
So is this on the menu?
It's not on the menu yet, but a version of it will be on our spring menu that's coming up shortly.
Nice. So if you guys are in New York City, you can check it out. You can try it for
Sweet.
yourself. You don't even have to cook it.
That's it. So just to show you guys a little bit about, a lot of people are familiar with vegetable spiralizer at this point, or spiraler. I call them a zoodler because it makes zoodles. You just cut off a flat part. Try to leave that intact so that way these teeth here don't grind up the inside. And we're just going to twist. This device has two sides, so you could get two different widths on your zoodles. If you don't want zoodles that are so long, then you could cut your zucchinis even shorter so that you have shorter, more manageable noodles. I tend to like them long. Just makes it more interesting and fun to eat. All right?
We have Maya watching saying she loves Añejo.
Awesome. Thanks for loving Añejo. So I'm just going to flip these guys. In a professional kitchen, we have gas ranges that give us high heat. This guy is giving us good heat. All right, so these shrimp, I'm not going to cook for very long because they're pretty small. Sorry. And I'm just going to take them off and let them carry over on their own.
Belinda says, my parents are from Puerto Rico too. I was born in Jersey.
Sweet. What part of Jersey? All right, so I have my shrimp here. I'm going to let that cool off. And then to that, I'm just going to go ahead and start my pipián. I have some pre-toasted pumpkin seeds.
You can do that all in the same pan?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's best to do it that way. This is all going to get pureed anyway, but this way all the flavors come together. All right, and I have some garlic.
Fiona Adams says, I've never tried Mexican food. I think you're missing out.
Wow. I didn't know there were still people that haven't tried Mexican
Me
food.
neither. Who knew?
All right, so we're just going to sweat those onions and garlic until they're soft. I have 16 minutes. That's plenty of time. Let me not freak out. So we're just going to let this kind of happen. We're going to let it soften up, let those flavors come together. I'll introduce the spices such as cumin, oregano. I have some asparagus stems here because I'll be using asparagus in my garnish. So not to waste the asparagus and just to give us good spring flavors. I'm going to utilize it in my verde, my pipián verde.
Ricky says, I wish I could smell through my computer, and I have to say, this smells really, really good. If it tastes as good as it smells, this is going to be great.
It does smell really good.
Jesse wants to know, what do pumpkin seeds taste like?
That's a great question. I would say they're earthy. If you've ever had a sunflower seed, there's something along those lines, but they're not as fleshy. So it's a crisper, sort of slightly cleaner flavor because you don't have the creamy fat. Sunflower seeds are fattier. They're kind of dry in the center, so they're not as fleshy as a sunflower seed.
And it really depends on how you cook them too.
Yeah, you always want to toast them and just sort of, it enhances the flavors and it doesn't, just taste better. So I added to that some cumin, and here's some Mexican oregano.
Now, is that different than regular oregano?
It is. It has a greener flavor, and it's a lot more intense than regular oregano is, but it's not too far off.
JC wants to know, how long have you been cooking?
I've been cooking for about 13 years now.
Lori wants to know, is this dish spicy?
That's all up to you. I'm going to add some jalapeno. Jalapenos are not as spicy as some people think. There's green heat, there's green bright flavor, and then there's some green heat. But there's not a whole lot of heat like a serrano chili has, which in Mexico it'll probably be made with serrano chilies instead. All right, so I got my spices in there. I have my jalapeno. I'm going to go ahead and add my asparagus in there, and then I'm going to sprinkle with some salt.
Betty is just tuning in. Remind people what you are making if they are just watching.
Sure. I'm making a pipián verde. So basically a pumpkin seed mole that's going to go with some seared shrimp and zoodles.
And you have about 14 minutes. You're doing good.
At this point, I'll add my water. Now, at home, you could use vegetable stock, but it might take you over your $12 budget. So stick to water. If you're really picky, use filtered water. We're going to let those flavors come together. Now, I have cilantro that's really a key component in making this sauce green and bright. But if we add it now, it's just going to get brown, and it's not going to look very appetizing. So we'll add it towards the end. Some black pepper, not because they use black pepper in Mexico, but because it balances out the flavor. All right. Bring this here.
Sherry wants to know, do you put chocolate in your mole?
If I'm making a mole poblano or a version of a mole coloradito, which is a red mole, yes. And this one in particular, I wouldn't. But now that you say that, I'd be curious to see what white chocolate would taste like in this sauce.
Sounds interesting.
Don't mind me, I'm just getting a spoon to taste.
You have about 13 minutes.
Okay. Rise and grind.
Bambi says, I hear jalapeno seeds make it more spicy. That's true.
Yes. Not so much the seeds, but the ribs that the seeds are connected to. These white veins that you find in chilies.
Ooh,
that's where all the heat is. By the time it gets to the seed, there is some heat there, but it's really in those veins.
Corey wants to know, where do you get the shrimps from?
The shrimps at that price came from Whole Foods.
You can get shrimps at your local market.
Yeah, your local market, your local fishmonger, any place has one. So I'm just going to add this in here. Keep this guy on high.
Now, I see you are using a blender, but could you also use a food processor?
Food processor is good, but I think it'll give you too chunky of a sauce. Not that a pipián verde or pipiáns in general are necessarily smooth, but a food processor is pretty chunky. All right, so to save time, because I have 11 minutes, I'm going to use the same pan. It's nicely scooped out, and I'm going to add some more olive oil and some garlic. This is to start my zoodles.
Gloria says that looks yummy. And I did read a comment. I lost it though, but they were asking, what is a zoodle?
A zoodle, introduced to me by my great family. It's a pasta imposter. Basically, you're taking zucchini and you're using a vegetable spiralizer to make these ribbons, which mimic spaghetti or fettuccine, depending on what setting you use. I'm using zucchini because it's in season. It's light. It's getting you ready for your beach body. Pipiáns will probably be typically served with tortillas and rice. All right, so I'm gonna add my zucchini there. You have to season at every phase of what you're doing. Right now, my salt's gonna help break down the zucchini so I don't have to cook it for too long. All right, so season at every point. You saw I seasoned the onions and garlic. It kind of help break that down as well. That's not going to take very long. Just try to keep it on your highest setting. All right, time for the moment
Blend
of truth.
it up. You have about 10 minutes left.
So in restaurants, we use Vitamixes, which some of you guys probably have at home. They're a lot stronger than this, and they make really great sauces and purees. So when the judge gets to take this, if he just forgives me for a couple chunks in here, due to the blender, I'd appreciate it.
I love the multitasking there.
All right, so my zoodles are there. I'm going to turn that off, let them chill out there for a second. Don't do that at home. I just did it here to sort of move it along. I stay close to the edge of the jar so I don't hit the blade, because then your pipián tastes like rubber.
Jordan says you got some quick hands, man.
Thank you, Jordan.
And Lakeisha says you should add some stock to blend the seeds.
Absolutely. I have some water here, but what I don't want is to make it super watery. I want the pipián to taste like what's in it. If I add too much water, then you lose a lot of flavor. And I didn't use stock here just because it'll put me over budget.
JC says, I feel really special when you guys reply to my comment. We'll keep the comments coming. We try our best.
Please do.
Jamie Lynn is asking, how do you get the zucchini into noodles? And we did that earlier. So after this is
this
live,
item, this device here is called a zoodler, or a vegetable spiralizer. It's really the easiest way to do it.
And you can rewatch this clip and watch
Yep.
Chef Ricky do just that.
I bought that one at Macy's. You could get it online. I'm a big fan of Amazon for some things like that.
Andrew says, wow, looks great.
Thanks, Andrew.
JC says presentation on point, and that is one of the judging criteria. So,
and it's important to me. You have to.
What is that saying? You eat with your eyes?
Eat with your eyes first. Eyes, nose, and then mouth. Believe it or not, the mouth is the last part if you're eating properly. All right, so I'm gonna bring the shrimp over here.
About
This
7
pie
minutes.
that's not gonna go in my face is blocking your view. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna move it over here. All right, so we have some shrimp.
Corey's saying presentation is key. Jamie, so pretty.
Thank you, Jamie. All right, shrimp tastes good.
Daniel says, hope this dish has some heat. I wonder if he's talking about the spice or
Oh,
must be.
he's totally talking about the spice. Daniel, are you from Mexico?
Daniel, where are you from? Teresa wants to know, can you use a hand blender to make the sauce?
Sure. Yeah, he totally can. He'll just have to work a little bit harder.
So if you had more money, we gave you, say, like $20, what would you add? Maybe, I think you had mentioned radish.
To this, I
Peas?
would totally add radish for some bright, crisp notes, which is why I'm utilizing the onion here for that. But I would add some fresh radish coins, just slice them super thin on a mandolin. I would add peas to the pipián verde. It just gives it a great flavor, and it pays homage to spring.
Corey says verde means green in Spanish, FYI.
That's why there's a ton of green on the plate.
Lakeisha says, looks great, can't wait to try it. Lakeisha, where are you? Are you going to come try it? You still have 5 minutes, so I don't know what you're rushing for.
I'm not rushing. We'll just put some lime here.
Kit says, your dish looks on point.
Thanks.
Belinda says, beautiful. And Jamie wants to know, are the tails on the shrimp?
The tails are not on the shrimp. Like I said, if you're a more adventurous eater, how I'd eat this at home versus how I played it in a restaurant, I'd get the body, I'll leave the shells on, I'll leave the heads on, I'll make the pipián, and then I would toss the shrimp in the pipián so that you're just sucking the bone, not the bones, but the shell and the head with that sauce. It's mind-blowing. But those shrimp tend to be more expensive, so don't expect to do it at a $12 budget. All right, I think I'm good.
All right, Michael, are you mic'd? We got to turn you on. So again, you're being judged on creativity, presentation, and overall taste. So 1 to 10. Hey, you need your judging tools and your chalk. So Michael's going to be the judge. He's walking up there right now.
Sounds good.
Don't want to disrupt you.
No,
the master
I'm
at work.
Sorry.
No, don't
It's not a
apologize.
disruption.
Oof.
Sharon says, looks amazing.
Thank you, Sharon.
And here's our judge, Michael.
Hey guys.
Michael
How's it
is
going?
not a chef. Josh is asking if you're a chef.
No,
Are
I'm not
you?
a chef, but I do love shrimp, and I am, like you said, an adventurous eater. So I do wish the heads and the shell was all on there,
Yeah.
but this does have the look of a dish that I would like. But I'm going to try and remain neutral before I dig in.
Not a problem. If you'd like, squeeze some lime over it. This is how I would eat it. I just squeeze a little touch of lime, not too much. The pipián, because of the pumpkin seeds being earthy, the lime brings some acidity and brightness to it.
So just focus over the
I'd
the
go
shrimp
over,
more. Yeah, just get over
but
there.
You could get on the shrimp there.
All
We're,
right.
we're stopping the timer now at 3 minutes. You're a show off because you did
Yeah.
this well
Hey,
under 20
cheers.
minutes.
So should I get like everything involved in there, trying to get like the ultimate bite sort of thing?
Absolutely. Just get a little bit of everything in there.
We have a lot of fans of our judge, Michael. Jordan's saying you need to keep that summer body, so this is a good dish for you to eat.
So, first thing right off the bat, this is phenomenal. The taste is amazing. And what I really like about it is that, especially for the time of year, it's something that doesn't compromise taste for health. It's really got all like the greens that you need.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes really simple ingredients, really earthy ingredients, puts it together to sort of give you this healthy but really, really tasty dish. And the shrimp, and it really complements the shrimp. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep going in here because
Typically it's done with chicken, but I think shrimp just It's a bit more exciting. But you could probably do the dish for $8 if you use chicken.
So you said, so if you did have more ingredients, you'd put broth?
I would use vegetable stock in place of water, which would just enhance the depth of the pipián itself. I'd use peas in the pipián. I'd get some radish there instead of the onion, because it's important to have a crisp sort of palate cleanser in between all this, because the pipián will be rich.
Tuning in. She wants to know, again, what are the ingredients that you use? Remind
Sure.
everyone.
Wow, sorry for the mess here. See, speed always comes with a cost. All right, so I do pumpkin seeds, onion, garlic, cumin, Mexican oregano, jalapeno, cilantro. That's this guy here, and some water. And then for the shrimp, just salt, pepper, olive oil, quick sear. And then for the zoodles, some olive oil, garlic, this guy here, so you could actually make the zoodle. And that's it, some salt and pepper.
And some people want to know what type of blender did you use, or does it matter?
It sure matters. This is just an Oster blender. It looks kind of cool, but you could get better ones. Depends on your budget. You know, if you have $400 to throw away, get a Vitamix. It'll be the best blender that you've ever had. But this is a good way to start.
Meanwhile, I'm over here just munching away.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sharing
I
it.
think cleaned your plate nearly.
Yeah.
Can
Can
you
I
give
get
us,
in there too? No, I'm no, I'm
can
just
you
kidding.
give us
That's for
a
you.
score on presentation, 1 to 10?
Okay.
You have a chalk and your scorecard.
All right. So we're doing this one at a time, or should I?
Presentation first.
Okay. So, I think that you were on a very short time span, but you did have plenty of time to kind of take your time and make it beautiful like you did. So because of that, I'm going to give you a 9. The reason I didn't give the perfect 10 was because there was a lack of diversity of color, I would say. The shrimp did give it a pink hue, but I wish there was a little bit more pizzazz on there or something. But I mean, a 9 is nothing to complain about.
You're getting a bunch of 10s from our viewers. Nosh, John.
It's okay. The green for me is spring. It just lets people know that spring's coming. You know.
It's true.
And we're all dying for it to come.
So next is taste. Okay.
Taste, 1 to 10.
So all you viewers out there, none of you can pass your judgment on this. I'm literally the only person now that can do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you a 10 on the taste, because that was phenomenal. I think it was the perfect combination, like I said before, of tasty and not compromising, an unhealthy food. And just like one of our viewers said, keeping it tight for the summer bod, it was a really, really good dish for that. And the last one was creativity, right?
Creativity, 1 to 10.
Okay, so I think that a big factor with the creativity is it's important to keep in mind that you only had 20 minutes and $12. So that's really important to keep in mind as well. I'm a sucker for shrimp. I'm a sucker for Mexican food. So I think you all know what's coming right now. Another 10.
All right.
Nearly a perfect score.
Nearly.
So you get to eat the pie if you guys want to share that
Hey.
for dessert.
Great day. I'm coming by.
All right.
Oh, I am
All
gonna
right.
be.
Please do.
So do we just cut into this pie right now and
Yeah,
share
let's
it?
just do it. Sharon's saying,
You
wow.
are the
only
chef. After you.
All right.
$11.97 for a dish like that. That is great. Seriously.
$11.97 here, $24 at the restaurant. But we'll use bigger shrimp and we'll use stock.
And again, tell us the name
Yeah,
of your
let's see if we can find
restaurant
some
and where they can find you in New York City.
Okay, let's dig in.
It's my pie, so we get to eat it the way I want.
Or just eat the pie.
Right in there. Hey, cheers again.
Salute. I thought this was going on my face. No, I'm kidding.
Ooh, look, did you make the pie too? What is this pie?
I have no idea.
It's really good.
I think it's
like a s'mores.
Boston cream. Yeah, it might be s'mores.
It was
Yeah.
nice
Because that is marshmallow on top.
whipped creamy, so we thought it looked good on somebody's face.
That's good. That would have been horrible on my face. It would have been sticky and
Layers
gross
to it.
and oh my god.
You don't want that. You don't want that anywhere near your face. Oh man.
And Chef Ricky, remind us where you're from and where people can come taste this dish. If
Sure.
They wanna, if they visit New York.
Guys, if you want to taste this dish, come, I'd say maybe in a week to Añejo in Tribeca or Hell's Kitchen. Tribeca location is on the corner of Church and Walker, and Hell's Kitchen is 47th and 10th.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us and taking the Slice Challenge.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Bye guys. Thanks again.